Hey guys, it's Haley and welcome to another bookish video. Today I'm going to be doing a little bit of a different video. We're going to be doing a little chatty get ready with me where I show you my everyday makeup routine and we talk about books, what I've been reading. Y'all have missed a lot because I did all this pre-filmed holiday content. There's so many books that I have to tell you guys about. So many different changes to my reading, different things coming on my channel in the new year, what I have planned for 2024, and I will also be opening up a little bit about my ever-changing relationship with social media, boundaries, Patreon, etc. So I hope you guys will stick around and learn a little bit about that. But before we get into the chatty get ready with me, let's talk about the sponsor of today's video, which is BetterHelp. I've worked with BetterHelp in the past, and as a mental health professional, you guys know how important mental health care is for me as a professional, but also as a person. I always say this, but if your therapist doesn't have a therapist, what the hell are they doing? Everybody can use the opportunity to process and talk about things that they're struggling with, and BetterHelp is one of the most accessible and most affordable options out there. To get started, you will just answer some basic questions on a questionnaire so they can find your best match, and in most cases, they will get you that match in under 48 hours. I know it's really hard to find the right fit. I go through that with my clients all the time. The horror stories that I hear of like trying to find the right fit is so stressful. And BetterHelp does make it really easy to switch therapists and make sure that you find the person that's right for you. Every single therapist on their database is completely, fully licensed. And if you're not clicking with your first match, you can always request a new one. You can get different types of sessions, from video calls to text message sessions, if that's something that you want to just dip your toe in with that to learn to get comfortable. I think that's a great option. BetterHelp really just caters to your needs, your schedule, the type of therapy that you want, the type of therapist that you want, and at one of the most affordable prices on the market. Mental health care is extremely expensive. If you're looking for accessible mental health care, I think BetterHelp is the perfect place to start. It's an easy to use platform and much less intimidating than other therapy services. Plus, it's a great time to start working on yourself. I know so many people have resolutions for the new year, myself included. If you want to jumpstart your goals in that way, BetterHelp can definitely help you there. If you guys want to take advantage of this offer, you can get 10% off of your first month of therapy at the link down below. Thanks so much to BetterHelp for sponsoring this video, and now let's go ahead and get into it. Hello. Today, I'm just gonna get ready, y'all, and we're just gonna chat. I'm super tired. I haven't had any coffee, but here we are, just like real, raw, vulnerable. I do get a lot of questions about my makeup routine and stuff like that, so I thought this would be a good opportunity to go through that, but I don't know how many people would just want to watch that. So I also wanted to just chat about relevant things, books, reading, what's coming on my channel in 2024. I have like a new attitude towards social media. I wanted to talk about that a little bit. Patreon, Trova trip, all the different things. I'm just gonna be like breaking down kind of my feelings towards everything. If you are someone who cannot separate like parasocial boundaries and relationships in your mind, maybe this is not the video for you, because I am going to be talking about like my real emotions and real experience on social media as a creator. And if you're not a creator, it's going to be really hard for you maybe to understand that. So if you're not willing to be open to understanding my experience, maybe don't watch this, because I'm really not going to read your paragraph long comment when you've literally never experienced creating content for thousands of people a day in your life. So yeah, that's my little disclaimer. I am very excited to just like chat with y'all. I don't know, I feel like sometimes I lose the plot a little bit when we're like just talking books and I'm like getting the recs out. It's like, wait, but I'm also a person, you know what I mean? So this is gonna be me being a person, and showing you how I do my makeup. My number one thing that I always start with is the MAC Painterly paint pot. It's just this little, like, I guess, cream shadow, but it's not colored. It's just like my skin tone colored. And I think they have multiple shades of their paint pots that are just this like matte tone, because I have really veiny eyelids, so I've gotten away from wearing a ton of eyeshadow. I used to wear a ton of eyeshadow like growing up because I wanted to cover up my veiny eyelids. But now I just wear my paint pot when I don't want to do that. Honestly, doing eyeshadow is a lot of work for a lady who has to wake up early in the morning. So, oh my god, my contact's killing me. Ugh. I also just got new contacts and they are bugging me. I'm gonna get my beauty blender nice and sopping. I used to use like name brand beauty blender. Honestly, I don't think it's worth it. Now I use the Real Techniques and I think it's totally fine. Literally exactly the same. This is the foundation that I wear. I already did my full skincare routine. I used to wear primer. I don't anymore. I use a moisturizer that just primes my skin really well, which is the Tatcha, the Dewy Skin Cream. This is really expensive. It's like $80 moisturizer. I would literally never spend that. I only use this because they had it at Costco and I have a Costco membership and it was 50% off. $40? I'm sorry, but that's something I'm gonna do. I love Costco. I'm a Costco stan. Okay, so while I am doing my base, let's just chat about what I've been reading recently. I did not do a December wrap up because honestly, time just got away from me. Like in the new year, I was like, oh, I'm gonna do all this content. It's gonna be so great. And then as soon as I had a break, I was like, that's really funny. No, actually what I'm gonna do is actually read because I wanna read. I just wanna sit down and take a break and read. That's something, you know, that's like a piece of being a content creator that I didn't really expect. Is like, oh yeah, it's a big hobby of mine and it takes precedence over reading sometimes. Like sometimes I have to edit for 5 hours when I really want to read for 5 hours. So that's rough. But yeah, I had all these big content plans. Did not happen, like at all. And that's fine. I'm just like giving it to the wind. You know, what's gonna happen is what's gonna happen. Anyway, did not do a December wrap up. I have been reading so much and so much different stuff. Like fantasy, obviously that's been like the big thing that is like so out of character for me, but I'm really loving it. Romance, weird like indie romance, like Ice Planet Barbarian vibes, dark romance, horror that is not extreme horror that I'm really loving. I've been trying to pick up extreme horror. The past like 2 or 3 extreme horror books that I tried to pick up failed for me. I don't know, my tastes have just dramatically changed, and I did some soul searching like I prompted people to do in my other video, my infamous video, and I just learned some things about myself. I took my own advice and I realized extreme horror was not really serving the purpose that originally did when I first picked it up. I will still probably read it occasionally because there are authors that I love, and I do obviously love the genre at some points in my times, but probably you will be seeing less of that and more fantasy, more romance, more indie horror that is just regular horror, not extreme. And I have found a couple good thrillers again, which is great. 2023 was not my thriller era. I feel like I was really not reading any thrillers that I like. I kind of talked about this in my haul video. Hopefully that's out before this. Oh, and the concealer that I use is just this Maybelline Magic Eraser. I love Maybelline. I use Maybelline foundation and Maybelline concealer, and I'm actually gonna set with the Maybelline Lasting Fix. I only wear powder under my eyes. I used to powder my whole face, but I'm just not down with that anymore. I like a dewy look, so I don't want to ruin it. Yeah, not my thriller era in 2023, so happy to be back in 2024. I talked about it a little bit in my haul that it's really hard for me to actually like find thrillers that I haven't read. I've read, I feel like, everything. Like, there's a reason I was dubbed the thriller queen in my first year or so on booktube, because I've literally read every thriller. Like, when I tell you, I cannot walk into a bookstore and buy a thriller because I've literally read everything on the shelves. It's kind of frustrating, but taking a break from thrillers have like let some pile up that I haven't read, especially like newer releases. I'm very excited to get to them this year. And it's really nice to be enjoying some kind of like unexpected books. I've just been really liking that. I do have a fear. Also, I'm going to be contouring, not like contouring, but like I use a cream bronzer. This is by Makeup Revolution. This literally changed my life. It looks insane at first, but trust the process. I have been nervous entering my fantasy era that like everyone is going to leave. It's like, oh, you're just a thriller girl, like nobody's gonna want to watch you review fantasy because you don't know anything about fantasy, kind of thing, which is valid, but also like, I don't know, I feel like it's really interesting to hear. I always like hearing reviews of thrillers from people who never read the genre, because they always say things that I never really would have thought of. Things that like maybe other thriller readers just totally and completely overlook because they're typical for the genre, that maybe like a non-genre reader would pick up on. Like, I don't know, I like doing that, but I just have this like maybe irrational, maybe rational, I don't know, fear of everyone unsubscribing and nobody caring about my reviews anymore, just because I'm like dipping my toes into different genres, which I kind of opened up about that on Patreon, and everyone was so sweet. They were like, no, actually, like I read fantasy too, like I would love to hear your reviews, da-di-da-di-da, which is awesome and very encouraging. So yay for that. You see how that just like added some dimension to my face? It's not so flat anymore. Yeah, I love this shit. And then I also do a liquid blush. When I first got this Rare Beauty blush, I honestly did not get the hype. I kind of hated it, but I've come around to using it more. I like the ColourPop bouncy blushes better, like the like almost like jelly kind of ones, but I don't know where mine is, so I'm just gonna use this Rare Beauty one and it'll be fine. So yeah, that's like a little bit of my fear is if I branch out to new genres and don't do like my old reliable thing, everyone's just gonna leave. But I'm trying to fight through that and just kind of like post what I want to post, read what I want to read. I feel like if I just forced myself to read only thrillers and horror, I would get burnt out on it. I think that's what happened with me in thrillers, is I just kind of got burnt out on them. I was reading the same shit, the same tropes, yada yada, and I just was over it. And I feel like 2023 was the year that I was really determined to diversify my reading, like author wise. Like I wanted to discover a ton of new queer authors, a ton of new authors of color, a ton of new debut authors, and I did that, and it was really, really fun. And I'm gonna obviously keep that. And I've always kind of had that in the back of my mind, at least since I've been on booktube. I guess not really when I was just like reading on my own without an audience to like inform me about things. So I appreciate y'all for that. I just wanted to put my money where my mouth is, you know what I mean? Like if I'm gonna be an outspoken activist and have things to say, like, and where are the stats, you know, to back it up? So I am very proud of myself that I did that, and I discovered a ton of books that I really, really love by doing that. So it didn't feel like a chore, like, oh, I have to come through on my promise. Like, no, I actually got a lot out of it too, and it was really awesome. So I'm gonna keep that in my reading for 2024, but it's not gonna be as intentional, obviously, because I feel like it's just a part of my reading now that has been integrated in. Now I'm going to integrate this genre diversity, and I'm really excited to read diverse authors across diverse genres. I just feel like it's so fun to explore, and like it makes me really curious and excited to read. But also, again, that makes me scared because everyone on booktube is like niche down, like find your niche, find your audience, da 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 da. And booktube is already like such a niche corner of the internet, like that it feels like a lot of pressure. So I don't know, that's just how I feel, but that's what I've been reading and I'm very excited about it. Okay, I have to move you for a second because the camera is blocking my contour palette and I need it. So anyway, I do a liquid base and now I'm gonna use my busted Kat Von D contour palette. I've literally been contouring with this. When I contour, sometimes I just leave it at this and this is my face for the day, but I want to do like my little extra stuff that I do when I'm like going out or taking photos because I don't know, I'm talking to y'all. Why not? Soar, I've been using this since like 8th grade. I love this palette. It's tried and true. Also, y'all, I washed my brushes for this. Like, ooh, look how fresh she is, because I didn't want to be embarrassing with my nasty ass brushes. Let's talk about what you can expect on my channel in 2024. Like I said, I have big plans for the new year. I want to do a lot more like intentional videos. And when I say that, I mean like if I plan out something on my schedule that I start filming and I'm like, I'm just not loving it, I'm gonna stop and trash the video. I always do this thing, and it's kind of similar to like my resistance to DNFing books, where like if I have something that I set my mind to, I don't want to not do it, so I will push myself to do things even if I'm not having fun. And like with my reading, that is my decompression time. That is my favorite hobby. I don't want to do that with my reading. I feel like I did that a little bit in 2023. I was also just like stressed to the max in 2023 with the wedding planning. It literally felt like a second fucking job or a third fucking job. I definitely want to be more intentional about videos and stuff like that. I want to revamp my library, reorganize my bookshelves, which I think is going to be a really fun video. I want to do a ton of just exploratory vlogging, not just thriller vlogs, but like, hey, I'm discovering this new genre, there's this new subgenre, or there's this author in this genre that like I don't know shit about. Come along with me as I explore and get into it, and hopefully that would encourage y'all to do a little bit of like exploring and diversifying your reading, whether that's like with authors or with genre or whatever you want. Like I just think that's really fun to open your horizons to new things. So that is kind of a little bit of my plans. I'm not going to give it all away, like specific videos that I have planned, but if you are wondering the trajectory that my channel is going to take this year, that is kind of where I'm headed. And I'm having a ton of fun just like even thinking about this content, which I think is a good sign, because I only want to do stuff that I'm passionate about. I'm not forcing myself to do stuff because of like preconceived notions, although that is really hard. My relationship with the internet actually has been really hard. It's been really hard since August. I just felt, I'm not gonna cry, I'm not gonna ruin my makeup by crying. I felt extremely attacked, okay? It's very, very hard to have literally every person who does not fucking know you have an opinion about you. And I'm sorry if you haven't experienced that, you don't get to comment on it. You don't, because until you experience it, you don't know how shit that is. Also, the blush I just used was Tarte. It's like this Barbie pink. It's in the shade Flush. Because if Sabrina Carpenter wears Barbie pink blush, I wear Barbie pink blush. And now I'm gonna highlight with this Rare Beauty Mesmerize highlight. Anyway, it's really hard to have a bunch of random people that you don't fucking know having opinions about you when they don't know you at all. Like, you can have takes on my content or my book opinions, like that's the shit that I put out there for people to comment on. But when people act like they know me, the human being, that's when we get into like this dangerous parasocial space. And I was feeding into that for so long without knowing it. And here's the thing, nobody goes to influencer school. Like, nobody tells you be aware of this. Nobody tells you about the dangers of parasocial relationships and like not having boundaries around it. So I was definitely feeding into it. Like, it was a two-sided thing, and I was like discovering by talking to other creators and just like doing my own self-work, and also talking to my therapist, that I need to have some really, really strong boundaries with the internet so I don't get hurt and so I can keep myself safe. And what I've discovered is like changing my attitude towards parasocial relationships and putting up firm boundaries, resisting any kind of like parasocial interaction. People have had a very negative reaction to that, and it has informed me to the things that were unhealthy. So I'm really trying to show up differently, specifically on Patreon. Like, I just realized how absolutely inappropriate it was for me to call my Discord thread like the besties, which to me that was just like a little cute Gen Z term for like the girly pops. But it can really get in people's head, and they have unreasonable expectations of you. Like, I am one singular woman. I am going to deliver what I promise on Patreon, like what y'all pay for. If you pay for the Patreon, I will always come through on that every single month. You will get what you pay for. But when I was feeding into it, calling it like besties or whatever, people were interpreting that in a way that I did not intend, but I should have been aware of. And now that I am aware of, we're taking care of that. It's a public post if you're interested in looking at it. I posted my new 2024 policies for Patreon, and I like did a lot of rebranding over there, which I'm really proud of and I really like, and it feels a lot safer, not only for like people who might be susceptible to feeling more connected to me than is appropriate, but also for me. Like, it's something that I'm being serious. Like, I talk about with my therapist because it's like a problem for my mental health. So if anyone has an issue with that, just know, like, if you don't want me to have those boundaries, you don't want me to be mentally well. And along with that, when you're getting picked apart on the internet, it's really, really easy to just like overthink every single thing you say. Okay, pause, because I have to move this again to get my other highlight. Hold on. Okay, so I just did some Benefit highlighter and cookie in my inner corner because I don't like the Rare Beauty one. I feel like it looks funky and doesn't stay put. It looks good on my face all day, but in the inner corner doesn't really. So I just did a little bit of cookie highlighter from Benefit right there, and then put some of that Lasting Finish powder over the top of it so it wasn't as intense and like crazy looking. So yeah, now you're caught up. Let me do my brows and we can talk about my new attitude towards the internet, because here's the thing. When you are publicly shamed and picked apart by people who hate you, okay? People who don't know you at all, but they hate you, and they talk about how you look and your job and how you probably are and your character when they've literally never met you or had one singular conversation with you. It literally fucks with your head, guys, especially when those people are like woman hater type of incel men. Like, it's literally terrifying. I cannot stress this enough. What I went through in August severely traumatized me. And if you want to gaslight me in the comments and say that I'm being dramatic, feel free to do that. But like, my therapist has been paid thousands of dollars and she knows the extent of it, and it's just, it's bad. So, okay, let me actually do my lips first because I don't know, I just feel like I want lips on right now. Anyway, so when you go through that type of experience, you start to really police yourself and everything you say. You overthink everything because you think everything is going to be taken out of context. So like, I was noticing filming videos since August, I was fighting comments that hadn't been left yet as I was filming. Like, I was giving manic HRH collection. I would say something while filming and then immediately be like, oh my god, but people are gonna misinterpret me and they're gonna say this in the comments. Let me just like try to hedge and like already get out ahead of it, which like was so stressful. First of all, it didn't make filming videos fun. It made it like a very stressful experience for me. And then I also just like wasn't showing up as my most authentic version of myself. I was showing up as someone who was scared to be myself because I was thinking that I would just be picked apart no matter what I said, which honestly for a while there was kind of true. So it was like a double-edged sword kind of thing where I had to protect myself. I had to be defensive in a way because there were things that I needed to defend myself against, but it was also detracting from my authenticity, which is never something that I want to take away from. And it's hard for me to admit that, but I feel like it's important to acknowledge that as well. Now, here's like the thing that me, myself, my therapist, and like it's also been informed by my conversations with other creators. There's one creator in particular, you know who you are, my bi-monthly coworker, we chat. She's helped me a lot, just like thinking about how to show up on social media, so thank you to her. But also like me, myself, and I and my therapist have done a lot of thinking about like how I want to show up on social media in a way that is healthiest for me. And I just came to this point where I was like, I don't want to police myself. Like, the people in the comments already do that, and honestly I'm not gonna be as active in the comments because that's the shit that like really grinds at my brain and like lives in my mind. So if you see me like not really being active as much in the comments, that's why. It's because I'm trying to protect myself mentally. And if you're demanding that I like show up in my comments, I just think that's a little bit weird. Like, I'm already giving you free content all across YouTube for hours and hours and hours. I'm already entertaining you. Why the fuck do you need me to give you a heart on your comment? Like, will I still read them? Yes. But is it hard to interact with them also? Sometimes yes, and it gets overwhelming. So like, I don't feel like that's an expectation of a content creator. Yeah, I'm already giving you a bunch of free content on YouTube, so just don't complain about that. And you know what? Do you see how I just did that just now? I was like saying, hey, I'm not gonna show as much interaction in the comments, and then I was like, oh fuck, people are gonna get mad at me, so I started to hedge about it. That is the type of thing that I want to fucking stop. Obviously it's a pattern, and it's a pattern I built to protect myself, so I'm gonna give myself empathy and understanding when I slip into it like I just did. But also I want to be intentional about like not doing that and being aware when I'm doing that like I just did. Because I don't want that to show up anymore. I just feel like it detracts from my experience on the internet more than it actually protects me. I am gonna do a lot less policing of what I'm saying and a lot more apologizing. I would so much rather show up authentically, fuck up, and have to apologize than be just like constantly policing myself. But here's the thing, when I say that, like when I say that, what I mean is I'm just gonna say fuck it. By the way, what I'm using to do my brows is this NYX micro brow pencil. It's a dupe for the Anastasia. It's like $7. I love it. And problematic, but this Jeffree Star brush, literally nothing else works to do my brows except for this Jeffree Star brush. Cancel me, but I literally don't care. Just going over it with this Anastasia powder because nothing can replace this. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna be doing more of that, where it's like, if people get mad at me for using a Jeffree Star brush in the comments, I'm just gonna say, you know, if it's something that I really think that I fucked up with, which I don't think I am, sorry. I'm gonna say fuck it, do whatever I want, say whatever I want that is authentic to me. And if people don't like it, I really cannot care anymore because I value my authenticity a lot more than pleasing other people. And if I really say something that abhorrent, if it was authentic to me, it was probably not said with any ill intention. I rarely say things with ill intention unless I'm, you know, it's in the context of a fucking worst books of the year video where I'm just ranting and low-key being like a characterized version of myself and a hyperbole of myself that is like not fully me. That's something that I don't think people understand about the internet sometimes, is like, yeah, sometimes I show up as a character for a video because I was a theater kid and I think that shit is fun, and maybe that's cringe, but I don't care. I'm just gonna do what I want. And if I say something never intending to offend anyone and I accidentally offend someone, all I have to do is fucking apologize. Is that hard for me? No, I apologize every single day. I actually think apologizing is like fun and nice and gives you an opportunity for like self-reflection and growth, and I love that. So if anything, me showing up more authentically and candidly without worrying about how the comments will perceive me will just give me more opportunities for awareness and growth when I have to apologize because I fuck up. When I say fuck it, I don't care, I'm saying like that's for me. You're still allowed to care, but what you're not allowed to do is like comment on my character and my job and who I am as a person because you don't know me at all. Yeah, you're allowed to be offended and tell me that, and I will apologize if I feel regret. If I don't, sorry. I'm just gonna be totally, completely authentic in 2024 because it's exhausting to be any other way. So that is how I'm gonna show up on social media. That is my plan. Obviously, it's not gonna be just like a total shift. I don't know if y'all have even noticed, but like I've already been doing some of that. And y'all, when I brought in the boundaries around parasocial interactions, that was when I saw the biggest reaction from my audience. And it made me very aware that it was like a massive problem. So I'm very glad that I brought in those boundaries. But we're doing a lot of adjustments. We're doing a lot of new things. And it's really not any change to my content majorly. It's just a change to my mental state and how I'm showing up as I'm creating the content, which hopefully will make my content better. And now that I'm not like being that way or like feeding into that kind of like parasocial interaction weirdness bullshit that was hurting me and probably everyone in it, over on Patreon, I feel a lot better about it. I'm very, very, very excited about it. It's literally a book club, y'all. Like, it doesn't need to be anything more than that. It's literally a book club. So if you're interested, go join the book club. I think you should go check out my policies if you're like not understanding what I'm talking about. Give them a read through. They do seem kind of harsh, but again, like, I have to be so real with you. If there's one thing I'm going to be, it's real as fuck. One thing you can always expect from me is candid realness. I will never bullshit you. I will always tell you the real tea. It's never gonna be, hey guys, fake influencer. Like, no. I'm a human being. And I think showing up that way is very important for me on the internet. But also, you know, like, guys, there's a reason why influencers show up in that fakety fake, hey guys, because if you are your true self on the internet, then that must mean that people who have comments about you being your true self are right. So a lot of influencers do that, hey guys, fakeness, because it's a protective thing. I want to protect myself with boundaries and apologizing and awareness and authenticity rather than the, hey guys, fakeness. So that is just like kind of how I see it. But yeah, I'm not going to do that hey guys bullshit. Like, I'm really not. I'm not gonna do it. And I think like the more niche opportunities like Patreon and like Trova Trip are things that you like really have to have boundaries around. So that's what I'm saying. Like, Patreon is a book club. Trova Trip is a trip. If you want a group travel opportunity, I think it's a great thing. Like, if you want to be a solo traveler, but you're scared to like do that, because obviously I would be too, and you want like a group of normal, safe, vetted women who are kind of like-minded, kind of introverted, everybody likes books and will be cool, then come to Bali with me. I don't want you to come to Bali if you want to be my best fucking friend. I understand that, you know, you might watch my videos for hours and hours and think that we're close like that, but like, it's a very one-sided, very different relationship. So that is not the purpose of the Trova Trip. That's also not the purpose of Patreon, to like have these weird relationships. No, I got boundaries around that. If you want to join my book club, join my book club. If you want to travel in a safe way and a cool way and a way that's really affordable because everything's planned for you and you just pay one flat rate and get a flight and show up and then we have a good time, like, come to Bali with me, please. It's always linked down below. Join my Patreon, please. It's always linked down below. And I'm not even saying this in like a promotion kind of way. Yeah, I mean, it's just that. It's nothing more than that, or I don't want it to be more than that, because then it gets weird. So those are my thoughts on parasocial relationships and like how I've kind of shifted with those throughout the course of being on the internet. This is, I guess, my version of going to influencer school, because that doesn't exist, but it does now between me and my therapist. Also, I did put some eyeliner on this Endless Silky Eye Pen from Pixi in the shade Deep Plum. It's like a purple color. I heard in 8th grade that if you wear dark purple, it like brings out the color of brown eyes. Is that true? Probably not, but I still do it. And I'm gonna line my waterline with this NYX Wonder Pencil. It's just like a matte skin tone shade to like brighten my eyes a little bit. And I'm gonna set my brows with the Benefit Brow Setter. I used to use the NYX brow glue, but that shit gets gloopy so fast. I thought I was saving money by using a drugstore product, but when you have to buy one every fucking month because that shit gets gloopy as hell, like, you're not saving money. The Benefit one I buy like every 3 months, and is it 20 something dollars? Yeah, but here's the thing, the NYX one, drugstore makeup is getting fucking expensive. We're in a fucking recession. Like, I'm not really gonna do that. That little NYX thing is like 10 bucks now. You're not gonna catch me paying $10 a month for a fucking brow setter. Like, that just seems crazy, so I'm not gonna do it. Okay, brows are set. And then I'm gonna set my whole face with this e.l.f. Stay All Night. I love this shit. I cannot do my makeup without this shit. This is really what I use to keep my makeup on all day now that I don't set my entire face with a powder. I feel like it just makes my face look so glowy, but also like it doesn't make my makeup that's not set with powder like patchy or weird looking. Like, I don't know, it just does something, okay? And when I'm doing my makeup for like an event or like taking photos, I will spray the shit 3 or 4 times during that routine I just did and like have layers of it to protect me. Protecting myself. 2024, protecting my peace. Sorry, I'm just being unhinged and having fun. See, why did I apologize for that? I'm not gonna apologize for that. I'm being fun. And I use many mascaras. That's the last step of my routine here. I'm gonna curl my lashes and put on mascara. I either use this Super Lash mascara. I think this is literally from Mexico. Like, I ordered it from Mexico. Somebody said like on TikTok, like, the girlies don't know, but I'm gonna put you on to this. Whenever I lived in Mexico, my whole life growing up, I used this Super Lash and it was like the best thing ever, and like nobody in the US uses it. So now I order it from Amazon. You get a 3-pack for like $12.99. Yeah, it's really good, but also it's not waterproof, so I only really wear it when I'm gonna have like a chill, do nothing type of day. It's a Sunday today, so like I will wear this, but if I am walking around, going to work, going to an event, something like that, I will use this waterproof Lash Paradise. This one is giving NYX brow glue though. Like, it literally is done in a month. You have to buy a new one, which is really annoying, but whatever. Nothing is better than it, so I still stay buying it, okay? They tricked me. And when I'm too cheap to buy that, I will do this Essence Lash Princess waterproof one. It's not as good as Lash Paradise, but it'll do, you know, in a pinch, it'll do. But I'm just gonna wear the by Apple Super Lash. They also have scented ones of this, like really cool. So I'm gonna do my lashes and then we will close out the video. Hello, here is my makeup all complete. I love this makeup. Like, it is my everyday routine, and yeah, I just think it's like so natural, so nice. I have it down that I can do it in like 20 minutes when I'm not ranting to y'all or chatting with y'all, whatever. Just brushed out my hair, put in a little bit of dry shampoo, and put on my jewelry, put on my cute little outfit for the day. I know you're probably like, hello, Hailey, why are you wearing short sleeve shirt and overalls? It is 70 degrees in Texas. That's our winter. It feels gorgeous and beautiful outside. So I'm just gonna put on my docs and go on a little walk and read my little book. I'm reading Assassin's Blade right now and I'm absolutely loving it. If you don't know, those are the prequel novellas for the Throne of Glass series. So very excited to be vlogging that for my Patreon. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this little bit of a different video. I know some of y'all were asking for my makeup routine, so for those of y'all, I hope you enjoyed that. And for the chats, I hope, you know, you can appreciate a little bit of my vulnerability, just opening up about my relationship with social media over the past year and what to expect on my channel. Please, no obligation to respond or engage with any of that. Like, you do not have to come and tell me that the way that I feel is valid. I already know that. You don't have to tell me that in the comments. And if you think that it's not valid, you definitely don't have to tell me that, because guess what? You don't know me and you don't know my life. And that's really the whole point of this video, is just to like let you know where I'm at and to let you know that you can't change my mind about it. Thanks for watching this little bit of a different video. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. We have all the exciting things coming in 2024, so I hope you'll stick around with me. Don't forget to go to therapy and read a book this week, and BetterHelp can help with that. If you are looking for an affordable, accessible therapist, go check out BetterHelp down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!